in South Bend, Lou Holtz. It was a frustrating day for him. First quarter in a scoreless game, Steve Schnurr to Dave Beasley in the end zone. Cats go up 7-zip as he gets acquainted with the band. Then in the second quarter, Notre Dame, 3rd and 5 on the 13. Paulus to Kinder. He is stuffed. Still in the second quarter, it's 10-3 Wildcats. Paulus. Derek Mays, the brilliant wide receiver. He gets down inside the 10-yard line. Same series. Second and goal on the 5. Robert Farmer busts in, but Kevin Kopka misses the PAT. Notre Dame still down 10-9. Third quarter, a 2nd and 10 in the 45, and Darnell Autry for 25 yards. The next play, Schnurr, as Northwestern shows good balance. Over the middle, 25-yard strike to Dwayne Bates for the touchdown. It's 17-9. Same score now in the fourth quarter. Paulus looking for Mark Edwards, Notre Dame, trying for a potential game-tying drive later in the series. Kinder from 3 yards. Notre Dame down by 2. Naturally, they go for 2 and the tie, but Paulus tripped by the center, pulling out. The play's dead right there. Then, later on, last chance, trailing by 2 points, the Irish trying to put together a drive were stuffed on 4th and 2. They ran up the middle, and Randy Kinder got stuffed. Northwestern ran out the clock. They snapped the 14-game, 30-year losing streak against Notre Dame. Timber ever. Simeon Rice, you got to contain it if you're going to beat the Illini. Early on, getting acquainted with Dreisbach. Then on the punt, it's muffed. Martin Jones fumbles. Sanders recovers for Michigan. They cash in. Dreisbach, play action. Chris Howard is wide open. 7-zip Wolverines. It's 17-0 in the second half. Robert Holcomb coughs it up. Charles Woodson recovers. Sets up Tim Biakabatuka. His second touchdown within 50 seconds, and the Wolverines very quickly are up 24-0 for good measure. Timmy B, one of the prettiest runs you'll see, 35-yard touchdown. This has been a close ball game the last couple of years, but Michigan on a roll after the comeback win over Virginia just pounds a very good and highly touted Illinois defense. 38-14, Biakabatuka scoring 3 touchdowns. Another highly touted defense is Texas A&M, and they open against the LSU Tigers at Aggieland. A&M now out of jail, eligible for the bowl, and they always have had good special teams. Andre LaFleur's field goal attempt blocked by Brandon Mitchell. Casey Tabor, the holder, tries to fall on it, but A&M takes over. A loss of 35 yards on the play there. A&M converts off the blocked field goal. Corey Pulley. Albert Connell. It's 12-zip A&M. Earlier, the defense had a sack for a safety. Third quarter, Aggies' opening drive of the second half. Leland McElroy, the Heisman contender, gets a good block from James Brooks, an 18-yard touchdown run, a 75-yard drive. More McElroy, this time on the sweep, waltzing in from 3 yards out. Leland's Heisman campaign is off to a good start. Texas A&M over over LSU, I should say, 33-17 in the fourth quarter. 3.5 minutes to play. We'll keep you posted when that game goes final. Duke and Florida State, the gap bigger than ever between the Seminoles and the rest of the conference. FSU, the Duke 33, and Warwick Dunn breaks a tackle on the left side, a 33-yard run, 20-7.
Really impressed me with his leg strength. He uses his head and shoulder pads to keep people off his legs.
And here's the other tailback, Rock Preston. This guy's a backup. Look at the moves here.
This is the kind of offense that they'll kill you. They wear you down with your running backs, and then they throw it deep to the wide receivers. First 20 minutes of this ball game, Florida State had more than 400 yards offense. This is still in the second quarter. It's 34-10 at the Duke 11. Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Andre Cooper faking out the DBs. 41-10 FSU. Right now it is 70-26. 4:06 to play. The Seminoles, a devastating offensive unit. Danny Cannell, he's a Heisman candidate. 4 touchdowns, 275 yards, and he's going to get a rest. The Huskies have the new purple helmets. Throws it up in the air. Arizona State's pass defense. That one receiver fumbles it right into the hands, and Washington, despite outgaining Arizona State, trailing in this ballgame, that flukish touchdown was their only touchdown in the first half. Heward going up top. The catch made. Arizona State, remember, a very young team. In Washington, picked by Mr. Corso to go to the Rose Bowl. They trailed late going. The option pass fools the Arizona State secondary into the end zone, and the Huskies
survive a scare. This would have been a very, very damaging loss to the Rose Bowl hopes. 23-20. They survived. Damon Heward, 239 yards and a touchdown. Keith Poole, 162 yards and a couple of touchdowns in that ball game. Purdue and West Virginia. Jim Coletto knows that the Boilermakers haven't had a winning season since '84. Strong first half. Corey Rogers following the blockers. 17-yard touch, 19 zip. The Mountaineers being blown out at halftime. But they get momentum in the second half, and Robert Walker gets the ground game going. Huge hole for an 8-yard touchdown. Boilermakers up by 2, closing seconds. Brian Bowman, a 25-yard chippy from the center of the field, slides wide to the right. A heartbreaking loss for West Virginia after coming nearly all the way back. And Purdue knocking the Mountaineers out of the top 25. Great win for Purdue. We've seen the strength of the big opener. Leland McElroy, 229 on the ground alone, 359. He would have to be, we hate to use the H word, all Dog fans need to show their support right now. That's Robert Edwards, a converted defensive back, 13-yard touchdown. Dogs still down by 3, but then Eric Zier's replacement, Mike Bobo, who does what he has to do, gets the ball to Bryce Hunter, who survives the decapitation, gets extra yards. Then Robert Edwards again. He had fumbled early in the ball game as Georgia was going in, but he regrouped after halftime, had a monster day. Blocks by Weeks and Taylor spring in there. Later in the fourth, Bobo to Edwards, a nifty 45-yard run after the catch. Georgia exploding on South Carolina, 35-17. Finally, Edwards. Give him the Georgia record for touchdowns in his first game as a tailback. Shades of Herschel Walker. Wow. 42-23. Scoreless game in the first quarter, and Bo Morgan, the maestro of the option, just takes it in effortlessly. 7-0 Falcons. Morgan had to leave the game, an allergic reaction to medication he took this morning. BYU struggled all day. Steve Sarkisian, the transfer out of JC, misfiring there. Then the field goal is blocked by Kelvin King. 21 zip Air Force. Second half, Bo Morgan returns and finds Mark Ranger wide open. This alarming because BYU's defense thought to be much improved. Instead, Air Force wallops him, breaks the long losing streak against the Cougars, who came in as the preseason favorite in the WAC conference.
3-0 Bruins. Ryan Feen back to pass, gets the ball off. Nailed by Lang, knocks him down. Keene left with a lacerated chin, but would come back. Third quarter still 3-0. UCLA punting. Earl Little tries to catch the ball on the bounce. Whoops, can't handle it. Abdul McCullough recovers it. Touchdown, UCLA, 10-0. Bruins add more scoring in the third. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 9 yards and a touchdown, 17-0 Bruins. Things didn't go well for Butch Davis and the Canes. Ryan Collins back to pass. Teddy Lawrence tips it and picks it off. Fourth quarter at 17-0 UCLA. Miami punts. Paul Guidry gets it, and we have a developing situation. 50. Look at him go. He's going to go 41 yards, 30, knocked out of bounds. 3 plays later, Abdul-Jabbar runs the ball 6 yards for the score. Great cutback there. His parents are thrilled. The Bruins go on to win by the final score of 31-8. Remember, it's Kareem with an I and not a double E. Abdul-Jabbar, 180 yards, 2 second-half touchdowns. Only Miami's 4th loss in the last 50 regular season games. The only other meeting ever between these two schools, the 85 Fiesta Bowl, the 1985 Fiesta Bowl, won by UCLA 39-37. Colorado, Wisconsin. Rick Neuheisel, first game as the Buffalo's head coach. First quarter, no score. Buffs take over. Marcus Washington incoming, blocks Brian Alexander's punt. Colorado recovers. That would lead to a field goal. Up 27 in the second quarter now. Coy Detmer, younger brother of Ty Detmer, finds Ray Caruth in the corner of the end zone. Second touchdown hookup between those two. Colorado up 26-7 at the break. Barry Alvarez says we have a dicey situation. More of the same for the Buffs in the third quarter. Detmer hits James Kidd 6 yards in the score. Detmer has a Rocky Mountain high even on the road. Trouble on both sides of the ball for the Badgers. Workhorse Carl McCullough picked up 151 yards. Carries 18 here before being stripped. Razga off and running. Darrell Bevel, Wisconsin's quarterback, the El Matador, D there. Touchdown, 72 yards there. Buffaloes go on to win by the score of 43-7. a blowout to say the least. Rick Neuheisel becomes the first Buffaloes coach to win his debut since William Presser on. Hooks up to Chris During, 40 yards and a touchdown, 28-14 Gators. During did get a flag, too much celebrating. Says, I didn't do anything wrong. Houston tougher than expected. First drive, second half. Jay McGuire, great run, spinning, breaking tackles. 12-yard run for the touchdown. Cougars down only 35-21. But Florida too much. Elijah Williams goes right side, touchdown. Florida wins it 45-21. Gators did give up 421 total yards to a team which only won one game last year. Never easy to please. Coach Steve Spurrier says his defense needs to go back to the drawing board. Houston came in a 45-point underdog.
Game tied at 3 in the second quarter. This is Stephen Davis. Nice move to the outside, takes it in 4 yards. Auburn up 9-3 as they miss the extra point. And a little more from Stephen Davis as he plows over. A little end zone look for you there. Auburn would go on to win it rather handily, 46-13. Patrick Nix, the quarterback, throwing for a school record 382 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Heisman candidate, you got a glimpse of him there. Stephen Davis needed to carry only 14 times for 70 yards, but did get those 2 TDs. Alabama and Vandy. What a game this would be. Bama hasn't lost to Vandy in Vandy since '69. 2019 Bama fourth quarter. Fumble on the handoff. Eric Vance says, thank you very much. 32 yards. He's gone. Vandy takes the lead 25-20. Bama comes back. 4th and goal from the 4. Field goal does him no good. Got to go for it. Brian Bergdorf. And who's guarding? Todrick Malone. Nobody. Bama up 26-25. Vanderbilt, the Commodores, trying to rally. Oh, bad pass. Picked off by Brad Ford. Taking that errant Damian Allen throw. 36 yards for the score. Bama wins it in dramatic fashion, 33-25. The Crimson Tide winning it thanks to 23 points in the fourth quarter, but a sloppy effort from the Tide. Bama with 4 passes picked off in the game and also lost a fumble. East Carolina and Tennessee. 10-0 Tennessee in the second quarter. Little trickery here from ECU. Halfback option pass. Darrell Jones does not fool anybody. Picked off by Darren Jenkins, who returns it all the way back to the ECU 31-yard line. 2 plays later, Peyton Manning, play action fake. The cameraman is fooled. Where's the quarterback? There he is on your screen. That is a touchdown, 31 yards. Nilo Sylvan with the score. 27-7 is your final as the Vols roll. Jay Graham ran for 144 yards for the Volunteers.
Oh, that's tricky. And he's gone. He's going to go all the way. 71 yards up the middle, and the game is tied at 7. 10-7 Utah. Oregon driving. Graziani back to pass, picked off by Brandon Dart. And look at this. Brandon Dart. We're waiting for him to dart. Didn't look like he had to dart at all. All the way, straight down the sideline. 97 yards and a touchdown. 17-7 at this point. The Ducks, though, a big game from Ricky Whittle. Fourth quarter, 10:58 to go. Whittle from 15 yards out. And a touchdown. And Oregon, with that play, wins 27-20. Whittle carried the ball 30 times for 160 yards. Oregon finished with 530 yards in total offense.